This week, the market did what it does best, and that is frustrating both bulls and bears. What's up, guys? It's Brandon from Amphibian Trading. Welcome to this week's video. As always, please hit that like and subscribe button, and then we'll dive right into it. So this week, the market did what it does best, and that is frustrating both bulls and bears. The week started out with a wait and see kind of feel as we had the Fed and Jerome Powell speaking on Wednesday. Thursday, however, out of the gate, we had this really nice gap up, and it seemed like it was going to be a great day. However, it just sold off the rest of the day, and it really punished anybody who bought strength that morning. Now, after we had such an ugly day here, you would expect there would be more downside after that. However, what did the market do on Friday? It gapped up, and it ended up having a very strong day, and we closed the week right near the highs. So if we look at this now with the market navigator, we still have our buy switch on. The power trend is also still on, and our exposure count is still at the maximum of 7. Now, we are unfortunately starting to see the distribution days kind of pick up as we have 4 now. It's not extreme, but it is getting up there. However, with the market still trending above its key moving averages, the buy switch, the power trend, they're on. This market does warrant exposure to the long side. However, you need to make sure you are not just buying strength blindly. You want to make sure you're being very precise with your entries. Okay, so what I want to talk about this week is the importance of weekly charts, and specifically how they can help filter out the noise of daily fluctuations and help you make better trading decisions. For me, I always like to start my analysis of a chart on the weekly. It provides me with a more clear understanding of what the stock is actually doing. Okay, so to illustrate my point, I want to go over the chart of IoT. So starting with a daily chart, you can see here we had this nice strong earnings gap. The stock moved up and then came back down to right around its 21-day exponential moving average. From there, it started pushing higher again, likely bringing back some buyers. Anybody who originally bought this on strength most likely got stopped out, and now they're seeing that rebound saying, okay, now it's time to move higher. However, the stock had other plans. It sold back down, almost touching that 10-week moving average, most likely stopping out anybody who bought in this area. And then from there, what did it do? It started pushing higher again, only to once again come back down and most likely stop out anybody chasing it. Now, looking at this, you could see definitely different areas where people could be drawing trend lines. You could have one there. You could have also drawn one here. And I think there was one more right here at the beginning, kind of steep. But what you can see is anybody who's just drawing these trend lines on here going, okay, here we go. We're going to break past this one, get stopped out. Okay, we're going to break past this one. Again, they probably get stopped out. And then again, this last one, okay, here we go. We're finally breaking above this trend line. No, we get stopped out again. So what this does is it frustrates all the bulls, anybody who's doing that. And if you look on Twitter or anywhere else, I've seen people complain that IoT is the new array. It's not going anywhere. It's the most frustrating stock ever, yada, yada, yada. I see it everywhere. But if you go over to this weekly chart, we can look at some key details. So first, we had this earnings gap and the stock moved up 66% in 2 weeks. It's very, very strong. Now, where did it pause? It paused right at the all-time highs from when it IPO'd. It's highly unlikely that after a 66% move, the stock was just going to blast right through that level without at least consolidating a little bit. Now, let's take a look at this recent consolidation. Obviously, we have these 2 powerful weeks with huge volume running up. Now, on this first pullback week, look at this. We only we're down 8 cents after coming up 66% in 2 weeks. The volume's high. It's a tight close, showing that there's demand for the stock there. Now, the next week we come down, but look at the volume just fall off a cliff there. And then from there, we push higher again. Volume comes in. The next week when we sell off, look at how light the volume is once again. And then volume picks up again to the upside. And look at these tight closes right in this range. That's showing some accumulation. Somebody's controlling stock and wanting to buy it in that area. Now, could this fall apart, of course. However, looking at this weekly chart, we have big volume to the upside, more than one place on this last run, on this previous run where we had this huge wall of blue as well. And then now as we're consolidating, the volume really is dried up, especially on the downside. This looks like a very controlled, nice basing pattern to me. Now, if you've only been watching this on the daily chart, you likely could have been frustrated. You could have bought all those trend lines and been stopped out. You could have said, I'm not watching this thing anymore. It's just never going to go. However, looking at this weekly chart, it still looks like it's forming a nice basing pattern, and I do think it should be on your watch list. It may not be ready to go yet. It may go on its next attempt. The key is to find a spot where you can purchase the stock where your risk to reward ratio makes sense. If you can find a asymmetric setup, it might be worth taking a shot on this, and just make sure you're always looking at the bigger picture. Again, if you're just looking at this daily chart, you're seeing all these fluctuations. It's going to push higher. No, it sells off higher, sells off higher, sells off. But again, if we look at that weekly chart, we just have this nice basing structure still building out with very nice volume characteristics. So it's always important to go ahead and check out that weekly chart before you make any decisions. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video or found any of the information useful, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any future updates.